Hi, I'm Eric Rhoads from Radio Inc. Today we're interviewing Jeff Hinson from BMP Radio. Jeff is the new CEO, and he is quite an impressive character.
Well, first for BMP is we had to look at the station lineup and the staff and where we were headed and make some decisions on building a foundation that we could grow off of. And so what we've been doing is putting market managers in place and looking at all lines of our staffing and business, from programming to sales, and then also looking at our radio stations. Can we win with this station? If we can't, we're going to sell it. We're also going in each market and we're saying, you know, we have investment opportunities to grow our business. We need to add more radio stations. So we're really going through and what I would call kind of building the foundation. And I think what will happen over time is that'll mean, you know, we have 33 radio stations in Texas right now, and we operate some in Mexico. You know, we'll probably sell 5, 6 stations, and then, you know, hopefully buy stations in each of the markets that we're in. And we're in Austin and San Antonio, Waco, Laredo, and McAllen, Brownsville. Radio is in a long-term decline. Audio is a growth business, and it's not a subtle difference. I think we've, as radio operators, have lost sight of what our audience is doing during the day. And our audience is going online, they're using their mobile phone, they're using other forms to communicate, to be entertained with. And we've put all those types of things in a separate silo. We call some of our most important growth areas for our revenue streams non-traditional. I just don't get that. Non-traditional revenue is a term in our vocabulary I'm trying to eradicate. These are basic parts of our business. You see online growing by leaps and bounds, and we have the promotional vehicle to bring people to our sites. But by and large, station websites are really awful and don't keep people the way they could, because I think we have a real ability to take the web and integrate it much more into the fabric of what we do on a day-to-day basis, hour to hour, minute to minute, from promotions to online to sales, and really have more of a two-way communication relationship with our audience. Well, one of the great things that's going on in the industry is really high-quality people are now available to us, and so we're really spending a lot of time thinking about the people that work for us. We're thinking about what those people ought to do. We're taking, and what you'll see over the next couple of years is we're going to be taking people way outside their comfort zone. And what I mean by that is I'm asking them to do their business different. That anybody who wants to be in the radio business should not come work for us. So the business we're in is really attracting audience and advertisers. And we're going to do it a different way, because our business and how we do everything from a remote to an event to our on-air stick has to think about what does our audience think. And our audience is just not over the air. They're online and they're on the cell phone. And we have to figure that out. And that's hard. You know, that's hard for people to do, but I've been exceptionally pleased when we've had conversations you know, internally, that people kind of understand they need to change. People understand that 5 years from now, at a minimum, 20% of our revenue growth has to come from sources. 20% of our total revenues has to come from sources that we don't have today. You know, if you're in a business that is not growing that much as the basic industry revenues, then you have to find other forms. Otherwise, you just disintegrate. There's an awful lot to do with your time if you're young, and I'd be gaming if I were a kid today. And so there's no question that the amount of time people spend on the radio is much less than it used to. That's why you can't limit yourself to over-the-air broadcasting. You just can't do it. And the way I keep up with it is two things. One of my first hires was to hire a chief technology officer. Okay. The second thing is I'm on 3 boards. I'm on the board of TiVo, one of the greatest consumer brands in the world, with a board that includes some of the best technology-oriented private equity firms in the world. I'm on the board of Live Nation, where there's a CEO that is transforming the whole world of music and live entertainment. And I'm on the board of Windstream, and Windstream is rural wireline telephone, and people always ask me, why am I on that board? They're in a secular decline in terms of how many people have wireline telephones. And the reason is that I determined that they're one of the best management teams I've ever seen in terms of how to grapple with managing a declining business, which surprisingly is kind of like radio, finding new revenue streams, understanding how to operate in that kind of environment. And what I see out of that management team that is so different from radio is they have never lost sight of what they're in the business to do, and that is to serve their community and their customers. And they're totally focused on it. It's not all about cost cutting and being efficient, because believe me, they do that too. But they're out there trying to find new revenue streams and ways to serve the household.